The servers worth playing, I can probably name them on the palm of my one hand. Ascension, Turtle WoW, Warmane, Stormforge to an extent, but even that one is like fresh realm every single year, killing their old realms. So I don't know if I would count that one in. I hate this fresh meta we've been having for the past couple years. Hey, I got no silver for spells. If you're wondering, this is TBC on Warmane's Onyxia right here. My level 20. Is it 20? My level 20 paladin that I've been leveling for a year now. Hopefully we'll be ready for when Onyxia progresses to Wrath of the Lich King later this year. But hey, if you still believe in private servers, like I do, you can search for some at gtop100.com, the video sponsor. There's a ton of options. There's literally hundreds of private servers in existence you've never even heard of. Thanks gtop100 for the support. And back to the discussion. One of my viewers sent me on our community Discord. By the way, if you are not joined yet, you can join by clicking on the link in the video description. He told me about an upcoming TBC server and I was like, yay, another one. And it was by a well-known developer, server owner, Gummy, that keeps on launching fresh realms for TBC like every few years. And I don't follow TBC that much, but from what I know, those realms die within like a couple weeks, maybe months. And then he relaunches again. So I'm like, I'd maybe make a video about it, but then I was like, I don't want to promote this. If you're going into it knowing that the realm's gonna die, okay, maybe you can have fun for a couple weeks or maybe months. But that's really not what I like. And there's only those couple servers that I mentioned that have some longevity. And that's why I keep making new videos about them, informing you about the situation, what's new. Because those are the only servers that I have kept playing over the years. Some people think, oh, he's got to have such sponsorships from Warmane. Which actually I've never even talked to anyone in staff on Warmane. As far as I know. Zero communication literally. But it is one of my top 3 servers. And it has been for several years. Just because I know whenever I come back, I have my characters ready. And it's also got those so many realms to choose from. So you can play Wrath of the Lich King mainly, but also now with Onyxia you have vanilla TBC. A progressive realm, so you know exactly what to expect. And even when the progression is over, with Wrath of the Lich King, the characters are probably going to transfer over to Icecrown. It's going to live on forever. And it's not like you'd be playing Counter-Strike, creating a character. In World of Warcraft, leveling, gearing up, takes hours, days, weeks, and years even. So it's a huge time investment, and having that all lost just because a server dies can be super frustrating. And that's why even when I visit a lesser known server, I usually warn people that, hey, it's probably not going to last for too long. It's a fresh server. Don't have high expectations. TBC life. And I'm seeing comments from people watching my videos. Even they are getting frustrated and they're like, I rolled retail, fuck this. I want to play and I want my character to stay there and not get deleted again. And I have been playing a lot of retail and classic recently too. Although even when I have an active subscription, I have to say I keep going back to private servers still. But that's one of the biggest positives about retail and classic is that you know exactly what to expect. And even though it has its ups and downs, and with every major patch there's a big influx of players, which then leave a couple weeks later when there's basically nothing to do and they progressed through most of the content geared up. Yo, and Firestorm. Talking about retail, Firestorm is almost retail-like because it's always at least somewhat active. Now the Dragonflight expansion seems to be extremely popular on Firestorm. And it always progresses through expansions with your characters. So that will be probably my top 5 of all time for international players. Will be Ascension. Turtle WoW's been doing great over a few years already. Warmane for sure. Firestorm. And theoretically Stormforge. Even though it keeps refreshing, at least you know it's going to be popular for that couple months, several months on that expansion, so you can adjust and enjoy the expansions like Mists of Pandaria, which are normally not popular on private servers as much. And so you can't even really say private servers would be dead, because if you combine just the population from these 5 private servers, it's doing really well. Each of those servers are actually doing good business. And even Whitemane, hey, Whitemane is in that category along with Stormforge. And Whitemane even has more longevity so far than Stormforge, I would say, with their Cataclysm realm. We'll see what the future brings for them, but they have a lot of cool things and features. They're working on Cataclysm Classic, Mists of Pandaria Classic client. And since Cataclysm will no longer be on retail with Cata Classic, Whitemane could be blooming again like in the old days. I mean, old days was like a year or two ago when it was having a couple thousands of players at peak. Yo, what's with this dungeon queue? Been waiting here forever. So there's definitely a couple really good private servers around, and then servers like Valenior, which I believe when they got more popular, promoted more. I think that server has a really good potential, and I'm not just saying that because they paid me to make a sponsored video for them. I actually really like the server, and I'll probably play a little bit of it in the future too, and I'm only hearing good things about it from the players too. But to any World of Warcraft private server owners, I would say don't expect your server to be popular and have players on it unless you invest huge money into promoting it and marketing, because you are literally fighting with all those colossal servers like Ascension, Turtle, which will literally have their own content creators that they pay. People that create videos for the server. So thinking that you're gonna steal their players? There's very limited amount of players that play private servers. Thinking they will choose your small server when they have these other more popular options is just unrealistic. And I just wish we would get out of this period where we're waiting for the next fresh. And I think most people, the real active World of Warcraft players, they will go back to longevity focused servers like Warmanes, like Ascensions, because they don't want to level for 200 time. There's definitely going to be a bunch of real hype launches of private servers throughout 2025, including Proudmoore, Ascensions, Bronzebeard, and Conquest of Azeroth, Whitemane's Cata Classic. It's going to be packed this year still, and those are some of the servers that will most likely have a couple thousand players online at peak. So there's going to be plenty of options for you to play World of Warcraft for free, different expansions, custom servers, different, oh no way random dungeon popped. Different ways of playing, XP rates, completely different experiences. And I'd say it's really good to be a WoW player nowadays because you have so many options, and even on retail you have all those Season of Discovery, Classic, Cataclysm Classic, going into Mists of Pandaria Classic, retail releasing new expansions one after another. I definitely don't think the game would be dead, and I don't think private servers are dead. No way. Back to the queue. Story of my life. I swear I'm gonna tank. What happens if I tank? I have a shield. Can I? Let's try. This is gonna be fun. I don't even have a taunt. Righteous defense. That will have to do. So I queued up as a tank, and now we're waiting for DPS. So for the one last time, I'm not getting paid by Warmane. I'm not getting paid by Ascension. Sometimes I make a sponsored video for someone, but I'm always transparent and I'll tell you about it. I just genuinely like the servers. You still keep seeing me playing on them. I have a plenty of level 80s on the Ice Crown realm on Warmane, and it took a while to level them up, whether it was through their Frostmourne realm or on Ice Crown. I love Whitemane, Stormforge, Ascension, and even Turtles. Fun in a way. That's why I keep revisiting them. And the other ones, here and there, there's some surprise. Sometimes I give a shot to a lesser known server, or at least make a video about it, showcasing it for some of you that may be interested in a server like that. That's it from me. Let me know your thoughts. What would you like to see happen? What changes in private server sphere? Do you play on those fresh servers, or do you keep going back to servers like Warmane that have been up for a decade and more? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you on one of those private servers. Or Mists of Pandaria Classic, because that's coming very soon.